Well guys, I'm finally at the fishery. It took just over an hour and a half. Yeah, just arrived. I'm in peg 11 and this is the first time I've actually put up my airflow bivvy properly. So I spent the last 5 minutes pumping it up. It was really good. Airflow 2-man. These things are absolutely rock hard. Can't pierce them. They've been tested, tried and tested. If you're ever unsure about actually getting one, there's definitely enough room for, actually you could say 3-bed chairs. I think it'd be a bit tight with 3, but it's an easy 2-man with both luggage, I think. But yeah, really straightforward, nicely pegged. That was a bit of a pain because, well, you can see why it's a bit of a pain. But yeah, peg 11. Now there's unfortunately the only thing come out of here recently is a tench, but we had a peg draw with the hydrobaits team and it was either peg 9 or peg 11. I kind of prejudged in some respects because I'd seen videos on peg 11, I've seen reviews of peg 11, and the wind, while it's going to the opposite direction, I think it's a northerly wind flow anyway. Anyway, I'm rambling. But yeah, either way, it's going to swing back around here. So hopefully that's going to bring people in. The lake is absolutely packed. There's not a single peg that's free. So I'm kind of hoping as well in the main lake that frees up some space. And obviously in terms of, I'm going to say free up space rather. Again, I'm trying to think about things while trying to speak. It's not a good idea. But yeah, basically I'm hoping that peg pressure from everybody else is going to mean that the fish may just kind of come down here to escape. But the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get out the deeper, see how deep this is. I believe it goes up to about 11 foot. I'm going to have a wander under those trees over there. I want to see exactly the depths and what may be under. I think earlier on in the day that there was several bigger carp under there, but I think they have since moved out, and they certainly will do with me moving around. But just to take you down to the water's edge, you can probably see already it's a very clear water, crystal clear. They put obviously a blue dye in there, so yeah, it's looking good. You can kind of see there's a lot of weed, but it's not too bad. You could definitely fish over the top of it, so I just need to get the deeper out, see exactly how deep that weed is, and kind of take it from there. But yeah, anyway, thanks guys. I'll come back to you shortly. Not bad for a first time. Okay then guys, so a bit of an update for you. So I've only been here for an hour or so. I've only got the one rod, and I'll explain why in a minute. So I've only got the one rod in at the minute. Every peg is taken, as I mentioned earlier on. I've had a go with the deeper as I mentioned I was going to, and it, you know, there are bits, you know, definitely holes. There's definitely areas which, according to the deeper anyway, there's no weed, so obviously that's been cleared out, I think, by some carp, which is good. So I've kind of baited around that spot. As you would have seen from the bait boat side of things, it was quite straightforward. It was the first time I've ever used one. Pleasantly surprised in terms of how easy it was to use. I think as soon as you get used to the back to front, left and right bits, you're fine. But yeah, anyway, I went to have a look down by the well, under the trees down there. I mentioned I was going to kind of just walk along here. Oh, making it not focus. But anyway, I went up down the edges there. There's an absolute ton of baby fish under there, which you would probably expect. As I said, there was a I did try and actually record it, but unfortunately the kind of clarity on this wasn't great. So there was a huge pike that's just basically come all the way around here and straight through, almost like not even half a rod length. He's literally just off the edge, straight through, and then back under the trees there. It was an absolute monster. I'm not sure how big the pike go in here. Personally, I don't want to catch one. I've got absolutely no interest in pike at all, and frankly, as much as it's a nice picture, I wouldn't know the first place to start in terms of having to handle them properly. So all I would say is, you know, again, no interest in pike, but it's, you know, again, it's a nice little lake. The bailiff's just come round and basically said that, you know, he would advise to basically just leave it to rest for an hour or two, and if not, then you probably personally rest it for the rest of the day and just try and attack it at night. So yeah, it's one of that. Obviously you come here to fish, but I think he's got a very good point that if every peg is pretty rammed, there's a lot of splashing going around, there's a lot of baits going in, you know, the fish are probably not interested right now. So, you know, do you play tactically and bait up and as you said, attack it later on? I think that's probably a good approach, but yeah, time will tell. But either way, as soon as I get both baits out, so one is going to be just around this area here, so that whole kind of like patch here is got pretty much next to no weed there, so that's pretty interesting. It's kind of like sandwiched in between. I'd say again it's probably bin lid size. Other than that, then when I do get out this second rod out, I'm just going to put it off, I'd say about here somewhere. Once again, there's a little bit of a drop, some bit of heavy weed, and then it kind of disappears a little bit. Surprisingly, just out here it's about 10 feet, and the bit that I mentioned over here is going to be around, edged between kind of 11 and 12 feet. Quick intro in terms of the tactics I'll be using for the next couple of days. So I'll be starting off with the pineapple pop-ups, which are the ones that I used previously, and they are the bittersweet pineapple. That's going to be going on to a 2.5 ounce lead, standard inline setup, nothing fancy, no running rigs, etc. Again, no dramas, no issues with running rigs, but it's not how I like to fish. So that's the general setup. I mean, we've got 15-pound kind of camo line on it, so it's beautiful in the water. You can't really see it, so it's perfect. And yeah, I mean, I've been here for an hour. I don't think much has happened around the lake at all. There has been one or two fish while we were walking around the lake that have come out, but other than that, nothing much to really shout about. Bailiff has been round and advised me to rest the swim. He personally thinks that it's a good job to just forget fishing for the next few hours. It's extremely hot. Maybe again zigs would probably be a good route on that one, and I will definitely consider that. But I believe, you know, the lake's been pretty rammed constantly for a few days, so he thinks, you know, rest the swim, attack it tonight, and we'll have more chance. So so yeah, as I say, just for anybody, by the way, if you are new to the channel, please do like and subscribe on this one. And again, I have got another video up from previous, and you will basically be able to find that from the link down below. Again, that was a trip to a local fishery by me, some really good fish in there, so if you check that one out, you'll be able to see how that went. Yeah, again, I'll keep you up to date, and I'll hopefully see you. Just a bit of a quick update, really. It's about 5 o'clock now. Nobody's caught on the lake so far. There's been a couple of runs. Dean on the hydrobaits team has had a couple of screaming runs, unfortunately not quite kind of been on the end when he got there, so it's unfortunate. There's been a tench out down the bottom, so obviously nothing great, about £6 tench. So yeah, it's been a relatively quiet first day. Trying to think of anything else I can possibly tell you. I think a few people are going to switch between zigs and bottom baits, and I just think personally the weather hasn't been on our side. I've got no expectations to necessarily catch tonight, but again, the temperatures are dropping. We've had 23 degrees, it's going to drop to about 7. Basically, we had a bit of a chuck around with the deeper just about kind of 5 minutes ago, and which I'll put a picture on now of the kind of the outcome of that. So as you can probably see, there's quite a lot of fish in the swim. They're quite obviously high up in the water, so a bottom bait naturally wouldn't be the best of approaches right now. So yeah, it's it's cooled down a little bit, thank God, and the wind has turned a little bit into this corner, but predominantly there's fish topping out all over the place. Yeah, I'm hoping for a relatively decent night, but at worst case scenario I'll have a nice sleep. But just as a kind of, not a review as such, but just as a bit of an update really, so obviously I've been in the new bivvy now, the Airflow Mark II 2-man. Kind of first impressions were good. I mean, I'm really impressed with it. So when the really hot weather was on earlier on, I opened the mozzie mesh at the back, which I appreciate that most bivvies have got. That's fine, but that kind of mesh saved my well, I'm not going to say my hair, but yeah, either way, it helped me to cool down. The team's great. I've met, spoke mostly to Debbie and Dean so far, but all the guys, they're really nice people. Hydrobaits team, if if anybody's interested in joining the team, then please feel free to drop me a message, or obviously go to the Hydrobaits website, where you can obviously order different baits, and of course request to join the team. It's relatively straightforward. There's no minimum bait you have to buy like most companies. You're treated with respect. Every angler, every age, every level is treated with respect. So if you want just a good quality bait, a little bit cheaper than normal, but if you want good quality bait, then it's definitely one to look at. So I think Dave, who actually makes the baits anyway, he's coming out with a few new bits soon. I know he's working on stuff all the time, so yeah, as I said, really good organisation. No compulsory bits, just like and share the social media. It's the absolute least you can do for getting discounted bait and quality bait at that. So yeah, that should just about do it, I think. I will come back to you if I do catch anything, or obviously anyone around me catches anything. But in the meantime, yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Just thought I'd bring you on my travels. I'm just going to go to the lodge and heat up some food. I have actually got my cooker, but to be honest, I want a bit of a walk, stretch my legs. So yeah, from peg 11 you have to go up a little bit of a hill or down, whichever way you're coming. It's not too bad. It is the furthest away from the lodge that you can get, I think, but in here yesterday there was about 20 carp, at least 20 carp that Debbie saw. I did see some later on as well, but this is obviously a no-go zone. You can't fish anywhere here. Debbie does have a rig back there, so obviously just to try and intercept them, but there's some absolute monsters in here yesterday, so it'd be interesting to see whether they've actually moved. I obviously can't really show you on this phone, but yeah, I just thought I'd take you with me. The mist just across the grass area there, really nice surroundings. I mean, when it's a bit more white, I'll try and show you a bit clearer, but yeah, it's a lovely place, well looked after. Really impressed. Okay, so yeah, it's about 7 o'clock now. I went to the chalet as you saw last, and yeah, it was really nice to get a nice warm cup of tea, and importantly warm up some food that I'd done. So I mean, it's one of them. I've got all the equipment with me to actually warm up all my food, my drinks, etc., and cook them all through. But you know, if you've got the facilities and you want to stretch your legs, you might as well make the use of it. So it'll be interesting to see whether you actually get used at all on this trip. But yeah, I think one of the teams just unfortunately lost one on a 4-foot zig, unfortunately. But as far as I'm aware, I don't think anything else has actually come out overnight. So I've basically just had obviously been watching the water. I've had a good 10 minutes doing that. I've just seen a carp basically really at the top of the water, so it's just come straight across here, straight underneath the tree. I mean, it's obviously only one, but you know what it's like, you've got to cast to what you can see. So I've moved my rod. Well, the second rod was over here, as you may remember me mentioning. So I put the second rod about there, and my first rod's about there, so it's quite close together. But those are the two spots where it's been cleared out, it looks to be, because there's weeds surrounding it. But I definitely, you know, felt the dunk as it hit the gravel. So I've definitely got both baits on the dance floor, if you like. So fingers crossed that turns out. I've had the boat out again, and again it's a mixture of kind of chopped up TNT boilies, hemp, sweet corn, seeds, etc. So it's a good combo, one that's done me quite well in the past. But yeah, other than that, there's nothing else to really report. Hopefully I'll be able to come back to you shortly with a fish of some sort. I don't really care what it is. But yeah, no, as I said, it's an absolutely beautiful place, as you've seen from the kind of pictures and video I showed you just. And you know, please, you know, leave a comment down below. I mean, have you fished here? What success have you had? Again, if you're going to be fishing here soon, if you've got any questions, you know, please feel free to ask. I'm not the fountain of all knowledge, obviously, but you know, I've been speaking to the bailiff a lot, and again, you know, hopefully I can at least comment on this swim alone. So feel free to leave a comment down below, and I'll definitely come back to you straight away. Take care, guys. See you soon. Okay, so just a quick update really. Nothing's really happened for anybody. The temperature has skyrocketed from what it was this morning. Say it was about kind of 3 degrees mid-morning. It started to warm up around kind of 5-6 o'clock, so nothing much has happened. The only thing that has happened, basically, I went over to the trees over here, and there was about 5 or 6, definitely 20-30 pounders, a bit of a mix, ghosties, etc., underneath that tree. Obviously the temperature is going to be hot again. The general premise in terms of pressure is going to be quite high again, so I've put a zig as close as I can to that tree, well, as close as I can get away with it anyway. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but fingers crossed. I got a double pineapple pop-up zig on, so it's not particularly standard, if you like, but the size of carp on there, if they're hungry, they'll take it. So fingers crossed, let's see what happens. Yeah, so when you come home having not seen the sun for a couple of days, that's what you get. Welcome home. Yeah. That is so cute. Party inside. Okay. Oh wow, so I've gone from peace and quiet on the lake to a party. Brilliant. Yeah. In my vlog. Say hello to everybody.
Hello.
So then guys, just driving back, realised that I hadn't even closed the video off. Not much recording went on the second day, as you probably figured out. Yeah, basically it was a really good couple of days, nice relaxing couple of days, but unfortunately that was a blank. There was only a few tench and I think one carp come out from the team. Other than that, it was a real challenge. I'm going to be down at Wildmoor Waters over in Gloucester later on this week, so I will have another video up for you shortly, but otherwise take care and I'll see you soon.